Hello, I'm Yuka House of Japan Outpost. Now, I'm standing in a beautiful Japanese garden. So, let's find out why I'm here today. Hi.
Hi,
Can I have your name, please?
name is Doug Mudd. I make bonsai display tables for British bonsai artists and for display.
So I can see this beautiful Japanese-style table. I understand you made this.
Yes, I made those.
It looks amazing. I can't tell this is not made in Japan.
Thank you very much.
Would you tell me how you managed to make this?
Well,
Or when and how you started too?
Well, I've been making bonsai display tables for about 9 years now. In the first 3 or 4 years, I was kind of making them in a Western fashion. Then we went to Japan 2007 and obviously visited the bonsai gardens and bonsai museums, and I photographed quite a few tables in Kobayashi's garden. He has a good collection of antique Japanese tables. Took the photographs, brought the photographs home, and then it took me 3 to 4 years to work out how they were made and how I was going to replicate them, and that took me that length of time to build up my skill levels so that I could do the joint work, so that I could do the carving work and produce the tables you see here now.
So it's all self-taught?
All self-taught, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you manage at all?
It's a question I find difficult to answer because for me it seems so natural. It's just what I do, and I can be in here, the garage here, working away for 3, 4, 5 hours. At the end of that time I can look at what I've made and I can think, how have I done that? The hands have done it, but the brain's been disconnected. It's a strange feeling. It's just
amazing. So your hands know how to do it?
The hands do it.
That's incredible.
I don't claim the credit for the tables. It's the hands that's done it.
During the 3 to 4 years when you are trying, didn't you ever feel discouraged or try to stop it? No.
Everything was a challenge, and it still is now. I'm still not as good as I want to be, and I know I can do better. I can produce better tables.
Wow.
It's just a love I have of wood.
Wow, amazing. So tell me, this beautiful one, when was it you created this?
How was it created?
When?
When? Well, I took the photographs in Kobayashi's garden in 2007, and I hung the photographs on the wall here and I studied them off and on for 3 to 4 years till I'd built up the skill levels that I felt confident that I could do the joint work. And 2011 I produced the table, so it took me 4 years.
So this is in 2011?
I started it probably in 2009, and that's its second or third incarnation. You make mistakes, you repair them, you replace, you improve your skill levels, and you move on. And eventually in 2011 the table produced itself. Wow.
So you were making woodcraft or something before you created this?
Yeah, I was doing kind of English style tables before that, but my skill levels before 9 years ago were in metal. I'm an engineer by trade, by profession, but I've always enjoyed working with wood, and I knew when I was approaching retirement age, I took early retirement, that I wanted to work in wood. So gradually built up the tools I needed to do that, built the workshop. What
kind of wood is this?
Any hardwood I can get my hands on. I like to use wood that's had a previous life so that I can carry that through.
Previous life means?
It's been a table or it's been a bank counter. That, for instance, that table there was bank counter from a Scottish bank.
Oh my God.
100 years ago. So
Oh, really?
and it's still got all the faults and defects and pen marks and whatever
Oh,
in there that it gathered over 100 years as a bank counter.
ah,
Things like that I like to use, and now that people know that I'm making the tables, anybody who's got a piece of hardwood lying about in the garage or in the house,
ah.
it ends up here. And
really?
it turns itself into a table.
So either these are made of the table is a
That one's
second.
yeah, that's mahogany and that's cherry. I prefer using mahogany or cherry because they take carving detail very well.
I see. How interesting that they're having a second life
I'd give
as
them
a
a second
Japanese
life.
stand. Oh, that's so interesting. And then people give you.
Yeah,
These,
I don't have to buy wood very often, but if I do
Wow.
buy wood, I'll buy cherry.
It's so almost like a recycling wood.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
wonderful! I didn't know. That's
Older wood's more stable.
Ah,
It's a closer, harder grain. It's easy
amazing.
to work with.
So, what is mean to you creating this kind of thing?
It's what I do. I'm in here some part of every day, even Christmas Day. I'll be in here for an hour or so. And normally I'm in here. Well, 3 to 4 hours is a working day for me. But sometimes, if I'm interested and the table's going well, I can be in here 7 or 8 hours. I can be in here 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
I just love working with wood.
I see. So you would intend to continue for many years to come?
Well, as long as the fingers work and I can keep them on the end of my hands and the arthritis doesn't kick in, I'm going to be making the tables.
Wow, amazing.
Okay, so the idea now is to fabricate a leg that looks something like that for the table you saw before over there. And what I'm doing now is cutting that shape out, which is the outside shape of the leg, on this machine, which is a bandsaw, which we'll do now. That's now given the outside shape of the curve that I need, roughly. It's within a millimetre of the line that we previously drawn. And I'll take it to that line now using the machine over here, which is a bobbin sander. I've already done one leg and smoothed that on the bobbin sander, which I use now as a template for this second leg. Extraction system goes on again. Take it down to that line. And that's about it. It's as close as it needs to be. And I do that now for the third and the fourth leg, and having done that, I'll then use the template to mark that other curve, the same curve as that on the other leg, side of the leg, and I will do the same operation with the bandsaw and the bobbin sander until we end up with a shape that looks like that, but it's just slightly bigger.
Yeah. So, Doug, so this was the leg that you are showing me, and then this is the top part of it.
Yeah, this is the leg that's we're going to fit to this table, and it'll be in that kind of a location there. This is the pattern that I used to develop the leg, and it will look, if I can just place that to the camera, it will look a bit like that when it's finished.
Okay, so tell me about this top part. It is itself.
Okay,
Actually, It's amazingly smooth. That's
Yes.
very nice. How did you do this?
Very tactile. It's all hand finished. It's put through the planer machine to get it roughly the size and shape I wanted, and then hand sanded to get that finish.
Wow. Tell me this. It has a beautiful grain here. How did you get this wood?
This came from a tree that was felled in Wales. It's a cherry tree. The guy felled it. This was a fork in the main trunk, which he cut into planks. I opened the plank, kind of bookmarked it open like that, so you get that almost like it's like an insect if you look at it. It's kind
Very
of 2 eyes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting grain here. So because it was a fork. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was so nice, I had to incorporate it in the top of the table. But
So this was just a tree that the guy cut.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
could have been just thrown away otherwise, or burnt.
And nobody else would have bought that piece
Yeah.
of wood.
Oh, I see. Because it was a fork.
Yeah, it's difficult to work with because it's a tortured grain. It doesn't want to stay straight. So it helps to keep it straight by put it in the rails. But it does float, so that exacerbates the situation. It wants to twist and move.
So
but it needs also to float.
that kind of wood, you are able to use it, and then you utilize it beautifully to create this grain. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So, Doug, I understand this has a special meaning to you.
Well, this is the table that really took me to another level. Prior to this, I was making really quite simple tables. Tables that people wanted made for them, but now I'm making them have the tables I want to make.
Ah.
Except for this one, I'll never part with this one because really it's a table that launched me on the path. Really, it's.
Well, this is the first table you made, like in this style.
It's the first table in this style that I made, which is very much a Japanese style. But because it took me so long to develop the skills to make it, it means so much to me, and I won't part with it. People have tried, but I won't sell it.
I see. I can understand it.